Hello everybody, welcome back to Farming Simulator 17. I am Knight in Phoenix. We're playing on the PC instead of the Xbox this time. So we're currently down in the cow area. My intention is to get a whole bunch of cows. They produce milk that gets sold at midnight every day. They produce manure for fertilizer. They also, what do they call it, slurry. That is used for fertilizer as well. So instead of buying fertilizer, hopefully the cows will supply everything I need. You can see right now I've got 70 cows. My intention was to buy 200. That didn't work out. I had actually prepared the area prior to buying any cows. They require water, silage, grass, hay, other stuff, a total mixed rations for food. So once I got 70 cows, I looked at the menu that you just saw up there on the screen and realized that everything that I had prepared was already gone. Everything was red. So I stopped buying cows and figured out real quick that I needed to basically prepare a whole lot more supplies than what I currently had available. Well, and if you own cows, you have to feed those cows, and the way you feed those cows is by growing the stuff you need that they need to eat. So I need to grow grass. They eat grass. I also need to grow grass and turn it into hay because the cows eat hay. I also need straw, which comes from wheat or barley. After you harvest the wheat or the barley, the stalks, you turn those into hay, or actually straw. I don't know why I keep confusing, not that I'm confused on it, but I keep using the term straw and hay like interchangeably, and it's not the same stuff at all. Anyway, we use the straw, that's used for bedding, and they also do eat it as well. And besides feeding them, keeping them watered, you also have to keep your areas cleaned up. As you can see, there's grass, I guess it is, that always seems to get thrown out of the feeding trough. So there is a meter in the game for cleanliness. The idea is to keep the cows 100% productive, and if their area isn't clean, they're not 100% productive. So every now and then you have to come through here and you have to clean up the mess that they make. I just scoop it up in a bucket and I throw it back into their feeding trough there. So I've planted 3 fields. When the game starts, you start off with 3 fields. Fields 12, 14, and 15. I've planted those with grass. Because with grass, you can just cut it and leave it as grass, which is required by the cow. With the grass, you can turn it over what they call tedding. It turns over the grass, which allows it to dry out and turns it into hay. Or you can take the grass, bale it, and wrap it in this like plastic stuff. Once it's wrapped, it will ferment, and then it turns into silage, which is also required by the cows. So that's why I planted 12, 14, and 15 with grass. I think we're really going to need a lot of grass products, byproducts. Now those are the only 2 fields that I had. Or 3 fields that I had, so I went and I bought 2 additional fields so that I could plant wheat, so I can get the straw that is also required by the cows. Alright, so we jumped from the cow area over to my barn area here. The grass is not quite ready to cut yet, so we're just kind of running around here, give you a little quick view of my barn area there. That's a fuel tank, has, I don't know, 3,700 liters of fuel in it. A power washer. What we can do in the game, it allows you to adjust time. So if you look at the top right corner of the screen, you'll see a 1 underneath a little clock symbol. So we are in real time. What we're going to do here is we go into it and we're going to change it from real time to 120 times. So basically everything in the game is going to run at 120 times real time. This will allow the grass to grow much quicker. I don't have to just wait around just waiting for it to grow. Right here, we're looking at the grass. It looks pretty tall, but when it is actually fully grown, it will have colored tops, almost like flowers. I mean, you've all seen it. The top of grass has a tendency to get kind of flowery. Some of it has color, some of it's white. But you'll see it pop in here when it's ready for, we'll call it harvest, but it's actually, we're just going to cut it. And unfortunately, when it goes to full growth, I have this window up there. You just saw it in the background. Now it's ready to be cut. So we're just taking a quick look at the map because we do have fields 24 and 26 that are mine that are planted with wheat. And I want to make sure that those are not quite ready yet. And while we're in here, we set the time back to real time. There's no sense in running it at 120 times because it'll get dark and I'll lose the daylight. And if all I'm doing is cutting grass, the grass is ready. There's no sense in speeding up time right now. If I get done with this and I still need more time for the 2 fields of wheat to grow, I can speed up time again. So at this point, we're going to grab our tractor and the lawnmowers and a tedder and get to work. Now this tractor has, I believe it's 250 horsepower, which is required to run these mowers. This is actually 2 different mowers connected together. So one has a left and the big one you see standing there, a left and a right, left and a right wing, and then there's a center one to also catch the center. So when I unfold this mower, it's going to cut, it's a total of 8.4 meters. I know that now because I went back and looked. And there's the tedder right on my left, so we're going to hook that up on the back. So what we end up doing is we cut the grass, and as soon as it's cut, we run the tedder over it in the same pass, which turns over the grass and turns it into hay. I've got plenty of grass down by the cows, so I need hay. So we're going to cut fields 12, 14, and 15 and all the little areas around it. And ted that grass as we cut it so that we can have hay, and we just basically we're going to find a point to start and get cutting. Now since this is on the PC version, I am using a mod, a GPS mod. Basically, I mean, it's real life. I mean, if you're not aware, farmers and their tractors, they use GPS all the time to let them know where they are on their fields, where they've got things planted. Here we kind of use it to, for me anyway, it's like giving me the ability to drive a straight line. So here we've lowered both, or unfolded the mowers, unfolded the tedder. We've got the mowers running now, and now we just turned on the tedder. And then we still have to lower them. Once we get the GPS lined up, you'll see me turn it on here and mess with it a little bit until I figure out what I'm doing. But once the GPS is set up, it's just a matter of enabling, I guess, the satellite link and then hitting cruise control. And your tractor will follow the GPS line that you have put in there. I mean, you wouldn't think it'd be all that difficult driving a straight line, but the game, it seems like you always need to keep tweaking. Little dips and valleys and stuff in the ground will turn your tractor a little bit. It just makes it a lot easier to drive a straight line. And that's basically what I use it for. So you see right there, I turned it on. You can see a green line, 2 red lines. It's pointing the wrong direction, but there's a button. You just click the button and it points it in the direction that you are facing. Then it's really a matter of, you set the width of the tool that you're working with. Now I have 2 different widths on these. The lawnmowers are 8.4 meters across. And that's what I'm going to do here because I couldn't remember in game how wide is that mower. So I went over here and I selected it, and you can see it's 8.4 meters. The tether is wider. So when I set it to automatically detect the width, it set the width for the tether and not the mower. It went for the widest part. So I then manually went in and hit the plus or the minus button to bring it down to the proper width of 8.4 meters. That way it basically is going to break the field down into 8.4 meter swaths. So when I turn, I will get the next green line 8.4 meters away from the line I was just on. So yeah, it allows me to drive a straight line. Once I make that turn, it allows me to line up where I need to be the proper width away from where I just cut. It appears I'm taking a little bit longer than I would normally on here. I think it's being a little finicky. Alright, looks like we're about ready here. So now we still have to lower the mower blades and lower the tether. Now you can see right behind the mower blades, you can see the grass is kind of a dark green. The grass behind the tether is a lighter green. So the stuff that's being cut by the mower is grass. So it's dark green. Once the tether runs over it, it turns it into a lighter green, and you know that is hay. So we'll give you one full length here. Then we're just going to speed through most of the rest of this cutting. I don't know what the speed ratio is. It gets pretty fast, but... So in this area right here, it's not a field, it's just always grass in the game. So I'm just considering it part of 15. Right here I stop, I raise the mower deck, because I don't want to cut the grass on 12. This is field 12 that I'm running over right now. Because I want that to be cut in the other direction. So then I stop here again, lower the blades, and then turn on the GPS again, hit cruise control, and we're off. So any moment here, we're just going to speed this up. Alright, so we're done with what I'm going to call field 15. We're now moving to field 14. This is what I would consider an Easter egg. So this is field 14 to my right. Take a look at it. This is when you plant grass and let it fully grow and it gets the colored tops on it. That is an American flag. Now I am in America, so I'm going to assume that is region specific. So if you're playing in Australia or Great Britain or somewhere, I would imagine that would be your flag. It's kind of cool, actually. Alrighty, that is field 14, just about complete here. Now we're going to move over to field 12. That'll be the last field. We'll get that cleaned up and some of the bits and pieces around that. One of the things, most of these fields do have grass around them, so you can cut them too. The grass around the fields don't yield as well, but you can cut it. Alright, so that's the end of field 12. That's pretty much all of it. I think there might be some pieces I go in here and get afterwards. But we're going to call it done. We're going to put the mower away, bring it into the barn here, just park it. Actually, we just drop it. And we'll drive over, put the tedder away. And now basically we have 3 fields that just have hay laying on them, and it's just all spread out. Alright, now that we got that dropped off, we're going to go over and we're going to get what they call a windrower. Basically, it's a rake. We run over approximately, I can't remember off the top of my head right now, approximately 9 meters width, and it rakes it all into one pile, one row. I guess that's why they call it a windrower. That we can easily pick up with a baler later on. I think right now I have a tendency to bring up that animals menu and just make sure after I've done some work that it, like the cows haven't run out of food or anything. I should be good as long as I keep it at 70 right now. But once I get all this ready, hopefully I can expand to 200. We'll do it one trailer full at a time. We can bring 14 cows over at a time, and we'll just see how those supplies diminish. Because in order to have 200 cows, this is apparently going to be a continuous thing where you just have to constantly cut grass, cut hay, make straw, just to keep them all alive. Alright, so here we unfold the windrower. We get it lined up. We're going to use the GPS on here again. Like I say, it's just easier to keep going in a straight line and knowing exactly where you should start on your next row when you move either right or left. So again, I turn on the GPS and try and get it all set up for where I am, what I'm going to do. And I got to figure out the width. I don't think there's a button there where you can hit and it automatically sets the width. It doesn't always. If you're like at a bit of an angle, it won't pick up the proper width sometimes. And I think it was set for the screen that I'm monitoring this on right now is so small, like it's no way I can read it. I'm gonna say it automatically. It's set it to 9.6, where the width is like 9.3. So I do miss a little bit on the first run. But I figure that out after I go down the second run here and I do adjust it and fix it. So this is what the windrower does. It goes by, it rakes up the grass to the left or right and piles it into a pile in the middle. So we'll go ahead and speed this up. We're going to just go through all 3 fields real quick here. Alright, so that should be it for all the fields. All 3 of them have been windrow. They are now in some nice piles, so I can pick them up later with the baler. Working the fields don't make your equipment dirty, so you do have the option of getting a power washer. And do power wash things off every now and then just to keep them clean looking. Maybe that could be a game all in itself. The power washer game. People bring in their dirty equipment and you just stand here and power wash it all day. So we'll just park the windrower, and that's pretty much it. The next task will be to bale all this up and then take it down to the cow area. That's going to be the next video. This one is long enough. It's a little over 25 minutes, which is pretty long for a video for me. So if you liked the video, please do hit that like button. And again, the next video, which should be pretty quickly here, will be of me baling everything and getting it down to the cow area. So thanks for watching, and I will see you again next time.